Hey guys, Brian Quick here, your Charlotte, North Carolina realtor and local other areas. Guys, I want to get real with you on here today in this video because, I think that, realtors are tending to just get on here on YouTube or on their other platforms and just give you these brief market updates. How many homes are on the market? What's the median price point? What are they actually selling for? How long are they on the market before going under contract? All these facts. And I'm like, those aren't bad, those are good, but what does that actually mean to you? What does that do for you when we just get on here and just read these numbers? Does it really inspire you to want to move to the area that you want to move into, the neighborhood that you want to move into, sell or buy? Because I don't really think it does. I know for me that whenever I'm learning something, just someone that's like feeling robotic and sounding, and just feeling like they just want to read all these numbers and then, give the quits, doesn't really make me excited, right? And so, and the truth is also, realtors we're in sales, we are commission based, right? So if we're not selling homes, we're not making money, right? And so, at times I think that realtors can come off as salesy and fear tactics, making you feel like, you should move to Mooresville, North Carolina or Lake Norman, North Carolina before it gets too backed and you can't make it here anymore, before home prices get too high or, there's no inventory. Now you're going to have to go out further north or south, when I don't really think that's the route that we need to take, or at least that I'm not going to take. Okay. Just because I don't feel like that's appropriate and I don't feel like that's how it should be done. There is a home in the location that you want to buy out there for you. And we will find it. That's my goal at the end of the day, is to find the needle in the haystack. Now, there are some things that you have to understand when you are looking for a home. Okay, but we can discuss that more privately whenever you're ready. But I'm not going to get on here and talk about fear tactics on you should move here now. Prices are going to go up before they do. They may, it's the truth. Prices may go up. You may spend more money. But I'm not going to sit here and spill out fear tactics to try to get you to sell or buy. Okay, so I'm going to dive right into this video and talk about what needs to be said about Charlotte, about Lake Norman, about Mooresville, and when you are looking to move here, why you should move here, the real market update for you guys, more in depth other than just me reading some stats, and then what I can do for you as your realtor, as your go-to person, someone that you can trust. So that's my goal today, okay? But before I get into this, please like and subscribe to this video. It truly does make me encouraged to get out here and put more videos out for you guys. And it also encourages me because I know it's helping me be able to reach more people for the appropriate reasons, okay? So without further ado, let's go into this video. Okay, so obviously I'm in sales, right? We just discussed how realtors are 100% commission based, at least most of us are. But my goal is to not sound salesy. I'm not trying to just make $1 off of you, right? My goal is to truly have you succeed, and me being paid is the byproduct of you succeeding. And that's how I've always run my business. So let's talk about the problem. I want to really face the problems of moving to Charlotte and North Carolina. All right, the very first problem to moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, or Lake Norman is the vast amount of great neighborhoods and locations to choose from. It can be quite difficult because you have Charlotte, which is going to give you your urban cities, your high-rise, your historic districts, and your suburban charm. And there's plenty of neighborhoods within that. And then if you move closer to the Lake Norman area, you have your lakefront properties, your new construction properties, your golf course communities, pickleball communities, all these areas that you can choose from. So the issue and the problem here is choosing about which lifestyle do you want. Do you want to be in direct the city, like right into uptown? Do you want to be in a suburban area or a district like Myers Park? That's going to give you, you're from uptown Charlotte within like 10 minutes maybe? Or do you want to move out closer to the Lake Norman, Mooresville area to where you could be on the lake and be about a 30-minute drive to Charlotte? For me personally, that's what I prefer. We love being on the lake. I love playing golf. So I would prefer to be closer to the lake and the golf course, aka like Trump International. You got the Farms. You have Hampton. You got all these different areas, Mallard Creek, Mallard Head, Troutman, Sherrills Ford area. So it can be a little bit overwhelming trying to figure out where you want to be and then narrowing it down even further to those neighborhoods that you want to choose. But then that's where I come in to help you really decipher getting it down to the point where we can find you the perfect house in the perfect location. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is if you don't have a job, let's get you a job first before you buy a house, right? But there are a lot of job opportunities. Charlotte is Banking of America there. We have Bank of America. We have Truist. We have Lowe's HQ right here in Mooresville, North Carolina. So, with a lot of corporate, a lot of tech, a lot of opportunities here for jobs. And not only that, but Mooresville, North Carolina and Lake Norman have a ton of remote opportunities. Ever since COVID came and, a lot of jobs went remote, that has kind of stuck as well here in the Lake Norman area. So if working remote from your back porch looking over your lake home or looking over the lake from your lake home is something that intrigues you, this is a good place to be. But it's just, figuring out where you want to be in all these little areas and nooks and crannies of these neighborhoods and then work, right? That's obviously important. We got to make a living. So there's a lot of opportunity here, but that opportunity can also cause a problem because now you got to make a lot of decisions. So now here's another one. Here's another problem that comes to my point is there's a lot to do here. Between Charlotte and Lake Norman, in between all those areas, there's a lot to do. So it can be hard to prioritize what you want to do. Depending on your lifestyle, there's a facet for everything. If you're a family person, there are family opportunities. If you're a single person, there's opportunities for you there. Every single location between Lake Norman and Charlotte, Concord, Davidson, Cornelius, all these areas have opportunity for you. So, I find myself sometimes talking with my wife and I'm like, let's do something this weekend. What should we do? Man, I don't know. There's such a list, which is a good thing to have, but, it's also kind of can be stressful figuring out what you want to do. So I don't know if that's a problem to you. Sometimes it's a problem to me trying to figure out what you want to do here, right? So here's another thing. You will have visitors. And what I mean by that is Charlotte and Lake Norman are places that people come to visit. Okay, people will come to hang out in Charlotte, NASCAR, Mooresville's NASCAR, Lake Norman. People come here and stay for the weekend in an Airbnb. So that, it's not overpopulated, but it can be somewhat of a visitor frenzy. People want to come here and enjoy concerts, watch the Hornets play or the Panthers play, and then go on the lake the next day and enjoy their time on the lake and enjoy these beautiful sunsets that we have. So there's all these opportunities here for visitors to come. So I don't know if that's a huge problem for you. It's not to the point of like you can't. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so tired of these visitors coming because it's just so overpopulated. But you will find that you will see a lot of visitors. And then the last problem is the real estate market. And I'm going to be honest with you, because people are moving here so often because it's such a great area to live, home prices are going up. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to put a fear tactic in you because that's the whole point of this video is to go about this in a way that's not that way. However, home prices are rising here because of the amount of people moving here. That's just simple economics, right? Because of the good jobs, because of the opportunity, because of the location, people want to be here. People love living in North Carolina. People love living in Charlotte. People love living in Lake Norman. So getting into a home sooner than later is better for you because you're going to get a lot of equity in this home, all right, in the home that you decide to choose. So it's a good problem for those who are here. Can be, I'm not saying it is, because we always can make it work. That's my job to negotiate for you, but can be a problem in moving here because prices are rising on a monthly basis, okay? So on average, homes are rising up about 5 to 10% in growth every single year over year here in Lake Norman, okay? So those are some of the big key problems that I see with moving to Charlotte and Lake Norman, North Carolina. Let's talk about why you need to hire me as representation. Now, everyone knows you could always sell your home for sale by owner. I'll get on these Instagram posts and I will read these comments about how people hate realtors, that we're scum or we're slimy and all these things. You could sell your house yourself, take your pictures yourself with your iPhone or your camera, post it online, and you could sell it for asking price, right? And there's no lie about that. They're not wrong. You can sell your home yourself. You can buy a home yourself. Having an agent is not required. I'm telling you that straight up from an agent perspective. Okay, it's not required. But let me just talk the real here about what I do and the truth about listing your home by yourself first on the listing side. You can do it. And you may save your commission. You may save whatever price point you save, that commission, whatever that would be. Absolutely. But data doesn't lie. Stats do not lie. I'm a figures guy. I love data. I want to make sure that whatever I'm speaking is accurate. 93% of for sale by owners lose money or would have made more with the right representation. Okay, so here's the key here is don't just hire anybody because hiring a bad realtor can cost you money. It can make you come out less. It really can. I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush. Some of these people who are hating on realtors probably had a terrible experience with a realtor, and they have every right to say what they're saying. But when you hire someone who is going to do what needs to be done to get you that highest price point, it's going to be worth it. If I would go to someone who is selling their home for sale by owner and go through what I went through when it comes to all I've learned through experience in school, I guarantee it, they would not be able to pass the test or be able to understand certain circumstances that come up. Okay? I usually don't even try to reach out to for sale by owners because for sale by owners, have it stuck in their head that they know everything and that they don't need a realtor. Okay? And in that, 7% increment, maybe that could be true. But let me explain something to you about selling your house and specifically using me as your realtor because I'm not trying to just pry you over here to me. I'm just telling you what I do. I can't vow for what other realtors are going to do, right? There's good ones, there's bad ones. There's a reason that, was it 91% of realtors? It was either 91 or 71%. Don't quote me on that one. I don't want to speak false, but didn't even sell a house last year. I think it was 91%. So I can't speak for other realtors, but let me tell you what I do when it comes to listing your home here in Charlotte, the Lake Norman area, if you're wanting to move within this area, okay? Or even if you're not, because I can help you relocate. But I don't come out there day one and just start speaking all these facts that I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay? I never overpromise, but I will overdeliver. I give you the facts about your home. I'll let you tell me about your home. I listen to you. I don't speak, I listen. I hear you. I hear your concerns. I hear your emotion. I hear what you're feeling. And I feel it. I do my best to feel what you feel because selling a home is emotional, right? So I want to feel what you feel. Now, there comes a point when emotion and just market fact have to come together. And that's hard. But I do my very best to make that come together for you. Okay? Now, when it comes to your home, you will have the absolute best photography, best videography, measurements, and all the marketing and branding for your home done by yours truly on my dime, coming up front. I will not charge you for photography. I do not charge you for videography. I do not charge you for measurements. And I do not charge you for all the ads that I run, for all the open houses that I run, which we'll get to that. I do not charge you for any of the promotions that I do. Guys, I call every single person in the neighborhood for an open house and say, listen, hey man, I'm having an open house at 123 Banana Street. Please come. Say hey to me. Check out this house. Tell your friends. I bring as much exposure that I can. I will run Facebook ads. I will run YouTube ads. I will market myself for you, for your house. And I will market your house to the best of its ability. I will get it out to as many people as I can. And then not to mention that EXP has over 90,000 agents who I have access to, whom I pop your house out to every one of these 90,000 agents. Okay? Now, that's just the beginning. Once we have this on the market, I do what's called a mega open house. I don't just show up 5 minutes before the open house, open the door and say, welcome. We have a mega open house. I cater food. I bring music. I have banners. I make your house look like it's the party in the town in the appropriate setting, in the appropriate way. We're not throwing, parties with, popping champagne and stuff like that. I make it classy. I make it elegant. And I make it to where it needs to be according to your house and your area. And then once we start getting offers and showings, I will communicate everything that I hear or have directly to you first. No one else hears anything that comes out of the mouths between me and the realtor except for my client, you first. And then we go hard on negotiation until we can get you the best deal. And then we get you money. We make you money. And that is why, obviously commissions are always negotiable. And that's the elephant in the room right there is that commission. Right? Let's talk about that commission. When it comes to listing your house, I do try my best to get you to pay me 3%. And the reason why I do that is because I truly work for that 3%. All right? To me, whenever you are trying to reduce my commission to a 2 or a 2.5 or even less, it's the same feeling as you going to work to do your job, whatever that job may be, and them coming to you to that day and saying, hey, Steve, you do great work, top notch, you're the best in the business, but today I want to pay you less. It's the same thing. I put my own money, my own reputation on the line. So I do all that I can for you to get you that best deal. And that's why I do fight for my 3%. And here's one more thing on top of that 3%, guys. If I back down when we're talking and negotiating commission to a 2%, what does that show you? That should show you that if I'm going to back down on my commission and take less and take a pay cut, that probably means I'm going to do the same thing for you on the negotiation side. Not on purpose. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, well, you cut me, so I'm going to cut you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that should be a red flag for you. If I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take it for 2. If I just drop that easy, what makes me not think that I'm going to drop that easy just by nature on the deal for you? If I'm willing to negotiate my price for you and I'm sticking to my 3%, does that not mean that I'm going to stick hard for you too? How an agent comes to you and represents themselves to you is exactly how they're going to represent themselves to the offers. And that's what makes me different. Is I will get you the best deal. Now, buyer's agent commissions. Let's talk about that. My advice is to pay that buyer's agent commission, that 3% to them as well. Okay? Because, here's why. Whenever you're willing to pay somebody, you always get what you pay for. You know, agents shouldn't do this, but they do this. I'll get a call from an agent with a buyer who is ready to put in over asking. Okay, let's say your house is $1 million, they're going to put in $1.2 million. And they call me and say, hey, Brian, we have a solid offer for you, $1.2 million, $200K over asking. What's your commission that your sellers are offering? Oh, my commission, my sellers are offering a 1.5% commission. You know what that realtor can do? Oh, you know what? I think we're just going to go find another home. And you just missed out on 200 over asking because you didn't want to pay that realtor. Now, a lot of times they can build that into the offer, which I always suggest them doing, and then we can kind of look back at it. But my advice is, if you want top dollar, pay the commission. And we can discuss this outside of this video. We can talk about this. Everything is obviously negotiable. I'm not saying everything is locked in stone, but it's not. That would be against the rules of the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. Everything's negotiable, but we could talk. So that's my listing, just in a brief moment. I have a lot more I could get into with you personally. Now, real quick, let's talk about the buyers, okay? Buyer's representation, when I'm working with a buyer. First and foremost, guys, when you're a buyer, you're the one who is spending the money to buy the house. I'm aware of that. So let me talk about the commission for you. And I got to be careful about how I word this because there are stipulations on this, but I take what the seller has given me. Meaning, when we sign that buyer's agency agreement, on that buyer's agency agreement, it's going to say 3% commission of the gross price. Okay? Let's say you love a house and we put an offer in and that seller is paying me 2% commission. I'm not going to charge you as the buyer of that remaining 1%. We will go back to the buyer's agency agreement and I will change it to 2%. You will not go to the closing table paying me anything as a buyer. I don't feel it's appropriate for the buyer to have to pay me when they're already having to come out money on that dollar. Okay, and we could talk about this. You could debate with me on this. But this is how I run my business, and this is how I find success, and I find the most fair way. My job with you as a buyer's agent is to walk you through the whole process, communicate with you diligently, and give you all the best information that I can to make sure that you are getting into the best home possible that you love, that when you move in 6 months later, you're still on cloud 9. Okay, so that's my whole goal when it comes to being a buyer's agent, is to make sure that you are happy with that home that you purchased. Okay, now here's a rule of thumb though, guys, and I'm just gonna tell this as a blanket statement. If you're trying to find a home that you 100% love, it may be the best route to build. Okay, if we're looking for homes and you love this home 85% out of 100, there might be one or two things that you're like, I don't really like. That's probably the best home for you. I'm not saying settle, but there is that exists right now to find the perfect home that has literally every little nook and cranny perfect for you. You're going to be looking for months on months. More than likely. Every now and then you get lucky. But if you find a home that is 85 to 90% what you love, that home you should move forward on if the price is right for you. For example, my home. I love my home. We just bought a new home in February. I love almost everything about this home. I'm not fully in love with my backyard, which I'm going to revamp. I'm not I don't necessarily love the neighborhood. I like it. I don't love it. I like it, but I love the house. Right? So you got to find your ways of what you can handle and what you cannot handle. Make sure your priorities are there, and then the little things you can deal with. Excuse me. So that is one of the key things about buying a house, and that I will talk to you about. I will never ask you to settle. I will never say, well, this home, you should buy this home. I'm never going to tell you that. But what I will do is I will have you send me the exact things that you want in a house. I will literally tell you, dial it in, your must-haves, your would like to have, and then no's. I will take that, I will build it into a funnel system for you and send it to you. After I've done that and I've sent you 25 homes and we've looked at 25 homes and you still haven't found one, we need to have another conversation. Because within those homes, there's a home for you. Okay? So you have to understand that from the buyer as a buyer. So, but as for me, in representing you, on the seller or buyer side, I can promise you, you will not have representation, whether I'm listing your house or helping you buy a house, like anyone else like me. I am unique, and I've created my business model to be unique. I want to be different. I want to be the best I can be. I want to represent you like I would want to be represented. I care about you. I care about your emotions. I care about what you're going through, whether the reason to move is for fun or not so much fun. So understand that, guys. I hope that helps you feel a little bit more at peace, that if you are looking to move here, you know you have somebody here who will and does want to take care of you. So with that all being said, guys, I'm here. If you're looking to move to Lake Norman or Charlotte or anywhere in between those areas, or even the Hickory area, let's chat. I'm helping people right now. I can help you. I can help you now. I can help you in the future. I will give you my best, my very best. I won't stop until you're satisfied. I will respect and honor you as a client and as a person. Okay, there are plenty of homes on the market here for everybody. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you need to move now. It's not going to have any more inventory. There's always a home here for you somewhere. And I promise you we can find it if we work together. Please, guys, reach out to me. I'm going to put my number right here. Give me a call. Shoot me a text. I love text. If that's the way you don't have to be formal and always call. You can shoot me a text. You can shoot me an email. You can call me. Whatever you prefer. I like to figure out which way you like to communicate the best and then go about it that way. So however you communicate is how I'm going to communicate. It doesn't matter to me how I communicate. I'm going to communicate on how you communicate so that it's seamless for you. All right? So guys, don't forget to call me, text me, email me, whatever you want. If you are ready or wanting to look or talk about selling your home in Lake Norman, Mooresville, Charlotte, or any of those areas, if you're wanting to buy a home and you already are here, let's give a chat. If you are out of the state and you are looking to move into Lake Norman, Charlotte, or any of those areas, let me know. And if you don't have an agent out where you are, if you are out of state, let me know, because there are agents that I know. I have literally a plethora of agents everywhere across the country who, obviously do their own individual way. Because like I said, there's no one out there like me. I'm Brian Quick. There's no other Brian Quick realtor like me out there. Me is me and you're you. but who will give you the same service out on that end too. So guys, please don't forget to subscribe to this video, like it, leave a comment, ask a question, you know, whatever it means to communicate with me, I'm here for it. Guys, have a great week. Have a blessed week. We have a lot of rain coming this week, and you know, that's okay, because sometimes, you know, it's nice just to have some rain and sunshine equally. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.